upon this cauldron by the will of night.
Hear me, shades of the dead, and listen well. Your strength is needed now to join our fight. Upon Olympus and in depths of hell. Within these crossroads, you are safe with us. Yet we would ask your service to our cause. Your will is yours, your choice is given thus. Together, let us rise above our flaws. So mote it be.
Our voices joined, thus we remain unseen.
I bid you welcome.
I bid you shine for me again tonight.
Death to Kronos. I sense that you are growing closer to manifesting the reality that we have long since sought. May you yet drain whatever light is left in him. The choice is yours.
You can sense my motive in giving you this. Sometimes we simply feel an impulse to express our admiration. Knowing how important your whims are to you, surely you understand.
Beings often demand tribute from their worshippers, do they not? Their custom, perhaps, but not mine. I merely ask that you honor our arrangement in perpetuity, though neither shall I reject your offering. There was a certain rumbling I felt within the depths. You reached your destination, did you not? Confronted Kronos and prevailed, and yet his influence remains. But perhaps the Titan shall relinquish control with further persuasion.
Such rage must have felt.
We'll keep holding it together on this mountaintop, just as long as you keep holding it together wherever it is you happen to be. Take care, all right?
Silken finery, so soft, divine. My finest customer. Is that your cat, my friend? I don't much care for how it's giving me the eye. Good thing I'm way up here. But wait, can't those things climb?
Don't worry, this is Toula, my familiar. And she'll keep her feline instincts well in check around Arachne, won't you, gal?
I used to love cats. They just don't get on with me quite like they used to. For obvious reasons, I suppose. Away she goes.
That's a sight. You bearing down on me with that gigantic moonstone axe. Wasn't certain you'd prefer that one.
Zorophet is weightier than the other arms, but having an axe such as this in woods such as these has been convenient overall.
Well, much as I hate to inconvenience you, I must. Although that monstrous thing suggests this oughtn't take too long.
You recently entered the father's residence within the underworld's depths, but did not remain there. Did you at least discover what you sought? Do not respond. I am considering all the potential truths.
Special delivery.
What's your customer, the Titan of Time? I've not met Gramps before, though I can imagine what he must be like. Used to wonder how come my pop and his brothers were so dodgy sometimes. Now I know where they got it from.
In black and murky Oceanus past the border of the underworld, the putrid waters are purified, as if to show that there, Poseidon holds no sway.
As long as his boons still work.
Oh, look who. We're still practicing Our Lady's number, lady, so you're just in time.
My, isn't that the glimmer of a golden apple on you, love? I knew you had good taste. Their uses are more plentiful than you can imagine. Brew the most delicious nectar, distract beautiful rivals, initiate great wars, you name it.
How goes it, Echo? I'm doing all right.
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. All right.
So many dangers all throughout these fields. Yet you're on this bridge. I feel a sense of comfort. Even peace. It's because of your presence and your power.
Your presence and your power. Presence and power. Presence and power.
You're the best.
The best. The best.
I have more nectar for you, Echo, if you please. Where I am from, it's a small gift we offer those we care about. I don't know about you, but even just handing over this stuff, I feel a bit better.
I feel a bit better. Bit better. Bit better.
Death to Kronos.
Death to Kronos. To Kronos.
We heard the news that you found out Hades' niece. The most excellent news, I should say. Except the part that he is bound in Tartarus, that isn't excellent at all. We'll get you out of this, brother. Millennium.
Be well, Lord Father.
Oh, daughter. Daughter, tell me what became of the Witch of the Crossroads, should you know. When all seemed lost, your mother and I, we left you in her care.
And she has cared for me ever since. Prepared me. Though we had best not speak of her in these chambers. Suffice it to say, the unseen remain in shadow.
Good. She was... well, as you say, we'd best say nothing more. Though if you have the opportunity, extend to her my deepest gratitude. Indeed. May it be of use.
The fates cannot help you now. I recognize that blade you bear. The scythe of death himself. Alas, that he was momentarily without it when I caught him in my snare, along with this house's other former residents.
You may have taken death, yet death is here for you. It would be fitting if you met your end by Zorafet.
It would be most unlikely, I should think. Then let us match now, scythe to scythe. Your Zorafet against my Rodroctus, and we shall imminently see who reaps and who sows. You truly are a nuisance, to be sure, but you accomplish naught. Do not presume you won.
For Olympus.
What then became of Sorceress Millennium, you ask? This I would surely tell you if I could. Alas, that for the moment, I cannot.
How? Return to Shadow now.
Finally. Feel free to stay in your own tent as long as you like.
Thank you for waiting.
It's my job, Moros. Simple as that. No one else wants to do it. No one else can do it.
But the retribution you see fit to dole out, how can you be so certain that decisions about such consequences are yours alone? The Fates have quite a bit of say in it as well.
What, you think I'm just another mindless puppet our sisters are pushing around? Come on. Their prophecies are vague because they don't really know what's coming.
Even if that were true, the burden of choosing who deserves what, I wouldn't want to bear it on my own. Otherwise, my judgment would have to be perfect at all times. Yet we are fallible beings.
Speak for yourself.
I was.
You're so worked up about this war, like it's some huge thing. Olympus loves a good war. Have him all the time up there. Got a whole god dedicated to him and everything. Know how easy it is to get him to start fighting?
No, Eris, please, enlighten me. Just how easy is it to get my relatives to descend into acts of unconscionable violence and destruction?
Well, this one time, they all flew into a tizzy over a single golden apple. A mysterious offering marked for the fairest one of all. They had a little dispute over who the secret admirer meant. One thing led to another, and boom.
That sounds like a simple misunderstanding, if not a prank. But you say it grew into a full-scale war. What happened then?
Nah, long story.
Well done.
Headmistress, I have a message from my father that he asked me to relay. He sends his deepest gratitude.
Lord Hades told you this. Whatever for? He rots in his own prison whilst the Titan ransacks his domain. My charge was to safeguard the realm, and I did not.
Father spoke of when he left me in your care, when Kronos struck. He must have feared the worst. Now he knows I'm well. All thanks to you.
No, Melinoe, all this is thanks to Kronos. Your father would do well to save his gratitude ere we settle certain scores. Oh, speak not to him of this undignified response. I merely was taken aback.
Of course, I understand.
Fine work there. You really using that Labris, goddess? Double-bladed axe thing. I mean, no offense, but isn't it a little much? Not even Ajax could have wielded that.
Weren't you the one who taught me to improvise, Odysseus? I'll use whatever means at my disposal. Who is Ajax?
Who is Ajax? Only the biggest lad I've ever met. Who's Ajax? But I forget myself, for he didn't have the strength of Hades flowing through him. Or maybe it's your own. Good hunting.
And that concludes our lesson for today. Eddie, what a chop. The monstrous power of the Moonstone Axe is yours. There isn't much out there it couldn't chop clean through, including me.
It's got some heft. She's tall. I'll give her that.
Awaken your true strength.
This night, O moon.
You have gone far since last we met, especially for someone with no steeds. Thus, I commend you, and may all of your future attempts in turn succeed. Behold my light.
Well, don't just stand there, sister. We've a war here to perpetuate. Stand clear.
Another time sign.
All dead. You're cut of the glory. I know what you are, you bloody witches. One foreign word, one finger-wagging gesture directed at me, and I'll squeeze you till you pop.
That won't be necessary. Though I would know how came you to feel this way about us bloody witches. How many have you met?
2 questions too many. The more you know, the more you can manipulate. Now off with you.
I see it.
Cheers, then.
Delivery arrived.
Granddaughter, where have you been? In the deepest reaches of your father's realm, perhaps. Striking at the very heart of our enemy. One can but hope.
Your mom would travel back and forth between Olympus and your father's house, and I had the pleasure of accompanying her. One day, she didn't show up. I knew right then and there something was off.
Be again at peace.
So
of our enemies once feared us gods, but turned their backs on us. I'd say a show of overwhelming force ought to remind them who's the captain of the ship, however, no?
How much do I have?
A fish is near.
All right.
Gotcha. It's a roach. Stay strong, son of Zeus. Thank you for your service.
Heard you were in town. You know who's disrespected me like this? Nobody. Nobody took my sheep. Took my eye.
Nobody took your eye. You must have lost it. I'll keep an eye out for it. I mean...
Nobody's gonna pay for all that someday. But you're gonna pay right now. Metaphorically, I mean. I'm not gonna take your money. Just gonna eat you. Bones and all.
When the armies of Kronos marched on Olympus, mighty Poseidon split the very land asunder. And so the gods contend with naval forces now.
Not a mistake, an opportunity. It's her.
The other night, given the opportunity, you sided with my kin, foregoing my boon when I first generously offered it. Whilst that little scuffle is behind us, I do not appreciate any such slights. I trust I've made myself quite clear.
I've got you something.
Hello.
Something happened since the last time you were here. These ships, one after another, they all sank. Never seen these waters so calm. Did you?
Did I reach Kronos in my father's house and slay him? Yes. And did he then reconstitute himself, perhaps entirely negating whatever I achieved? Also, yes.
I always knew you'd get him, Nelly. But as you can see, his risen fleet has risen once again. Though sounds to me like you found one of his weaknesses. All yours. I'll be in touch.
Bye. This is the hidden isle I revealed.
A shrouded glade, shorn from the heart of the land, somehow remains suggestive of a time of peace and beauty that has long since fallen deep into the distant past.
Times change. That's good. Toula, catch. It's over. Hello, squid.
Look who. This is for your own good, Trouble. Mine too. How could you do this to me, babe?
See you, strife. Into the purse.
From the summit of Olympus, Titan-slaying witch Melinoe regards the world to which the gods lay claim, and she decides this precious world which we all share is perfect, just the way it is.
Return to Shadow now.
Took you long enough. Sooner you get out of here, sooner I can go through all your stuff.
Good evening, everyone. You must know the three fates better than anyone, besides maybe Nyx herself. Though, forgive me for invoking her.
It's quite all right. The fates I know full well, but Mother Nyx? We saw her seldomly. The nature of our work was such that even she would almost never get involved. Besides, she'd many other children to attend to.
I'm sorry to hear that. My mother's the queen. We've never even met since I was an infant. Nobody around here seems to know their blasted mothers, come to think.
Come now, the mothers can't be blamed. We children can be so insufferable, true?
True.
Continue apace. You always reminded me of your father, Millenoi, but lately you remind me of your mother, more and more. Concern for others that you sometimes show. It can be an exploitable weakness.
I would never put any such concerns ahead of the task, Headmistress.
See that you don't. Although my remark was not intended as admonishment, it was my honor to have known your family, even if merely from the shadows.
They'll be avenged. Isn't there something you can do to talk some sense into Eris? Get her out of my blasted way to Olympus? Or failing that, pin her in an armbar or a leg lock, perhaps?
Won't waste my time with her at all. Though the armbar or leg lock do have a certain appeal. Not seen her flying through the underworld lately, have you?
Not other than these crossroads. But what's your point? That I should stay out of her way, as well as focus solely on Kronos below? It's not so simple for me anymore.
Didn't say it was. But if you don't want to deal with Eris, you could always stick to your main objective. Or just leave it to me, like you should have in the first place.
Duly noted.
Disciples, attention! Allay your fears, she has returned. Your path is fraught, young one. Know that I am always here to let you vent all your anger and frustrations upon, as well as to train with.
The greatest teacher is out there. Wow.
Such youthful vigor.
The crescent pick achieves a greater form.
Whoa, what was that?
You're very kind to me, Princess. I arrived at these crossroads in a desperate state. I didn't expect to be made welcome here.
And I didn't expect to meet Doom face to face, much less for him to be rather agreeable. Yet here we are.
We reunite.
I call upon the moon and draw you down.
Here in the sky, I am immune to earthly troubles, such as having to share living space with the goddess of retribution. Nemesis never treated me as a sister. She inherited only her mother's strength. Which suits you?
So you get to pick your poison between going after Kronos in the underworld or coming to our rescue here. Truth is, there's been some dispute as to which is the brighter idea. But you must know what you're doing better than we.
Evening. Got here well before you did. Cleaned up too. Makes you mad, I know. Don't hold back. Let's see how strong you really are.
I don't want to fight you, Nemesis. I don't even want to speak with you right now.
Not asking you to fight me. Asking you to hit me. See if you can even make me budge. It'll be worth your while. Let me have it. Been practicing.
Recently, I found myself unable to detect you much at all, and deduced that you must have completed your forbidden incantation. Thus, the surface is laid bare to you. Perhaps I shall ask you to describe it to me sometime.
You know, it's gotten harder sneaking down into the underworld of late. Good thing I happen to know an expert on the subject. And so do you, I see.
Millenoi. Decided to take a break from all your recent outings to the surface, have you now?
There's much to be done, both above and below. You always say the greatest teacher is out there, but I always seem to find her here.
I taught you nothing of such flattery. One of Odysseus's tricks, perhaps. Let's see what others you have learned. Cross flames away!
You've such disdain for what we're trying to achieve. You act as though nothing was lost. Don't you want to see Nyx again? Or Thanatos?
Don't I want to see my mother again, or brother number I have no idea? No, they were even more stuck up than you. No offense.
How can you say such things about your relatives? Were they crueler to you than this?
Nyx always wanted things her way. Why should she, or anybody, have that kind of power over me? Because she made me? She didn't ask my permission, and I don't need hers.
I'm sorry.
'Twas quite a fight. I thwarted you again out there. 'Tis unfair, I know. I arrive fresh as rain in anticipation of our clash, whilst you may already be battle-worn.
Fairness is a luxury, Headmistress. Though I do sometimes envy your ability to travel such long distances in an instant.
Do not be quick to envy what you do not understand. Along your path are to be found resources and reagents we require. And if you cannot get past me, then you are unprepared for what awaits beyond.
Well, I'm saying that the possibility exists, yes. Eternal vigilance is near impossible. Enemies have always exploited the lack thereof. I ever tell you of the old wooden horse trick?
The old wooden horse trick, yeah. Surely your reputation as the great tactician hinges on more than this one tale?
Ah, but classics ought to be retold. Though, if you'd rather, I have far more tales of trickery and valor. Take the Cave of the Cyclops.
Not Cave of the Cyclops.
Such strength. Patience, young one. You shall probably get through this whole thing.
I'm huge.
Behold,